Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to the first update of the Throwing Shade project. This was started by Jessica and Amanda, and I will have them listed in the description box, and it is a collab with the Fantastic Ladies Facebook group, which I will also have linked in my description box. But yeah, so thank you so much for Amanda and Jessica for coming up with this project, and let's just get into it. So as I said, this project is called Throwing Shade, and it's not a panning project, but you are supposed to use your eyeshadow palettes. So you have 4 weeks between updates, and you pick 3 palettes randomly, and then you use one of the 3 palettes for each week between updates, and then the 4th week you use all of the 3 palettes together. So this time I have been, like, between the intro and the first update, I've been on vacation a lot, and I haven't been like working or in school, so I haven't worn makeup that much. But I have done at least one look with each palette on their own, and then I have sort of used them in conjunction with other eyeshadows throughout the weeks, and then I've done 2 looks with all 3 palettes together. So I'm going to just jump in and just give my quick thoughts on the palettes that I have used, show my looks, show some swatches, and then we are going to pick some new palettes. So the palette I used for the first week was the Sleek Makeup Enchanted Forest palette. And this is what this one looks like on the inside. This palette has probably my favorite color scheme in like all of my palettes in all of my collection. I love these 2 shades, like the purple and then this sort of light burgundy or like a purplish lightish red. And I love pairing that with the gold. I also love pairing that with like these purpley bluish purpley shades, and like these blue purpley shade, and I do like these sort of grayish, almost greenish shades as well. So I love the color palette in, or like the color scheme in this palette, and I like I do like the quality of these eyeshadows. Like, I don't complain about them. I just feel like, I don't know, like the plastic of the palette isn't that great. So if I could have like this color scheme in a more like high-end luxe quality packaging, I would be super happy, because I don't know, this is a color scheme that I like to use like all the time. So I'm very happy I pulled this, and I'm very happy about this palette, and I do recommend this to anyone who can find it, because I'm not sure it's available for purchase anymore. But yeah, I really love this palette, and I will keep it in my collection. Okay, and then the next palette I was working on was the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette, and here is what that one looks like on the inside. And as you can see from the swatches, these are all highly metallic except for this shade right here, which is called Myth. This is sort of like a neutral matte mid-tone brown. So when I use this for a look, I put Myth in my crease, and then I put Trans all over my lid, and then I did sort of a liner with Marble, and then I sort of did a wing with Marble, and then I also did like a liner on my inner part of my eyelid. And I really liked how that look came out, but this is really not like a standalone palette, but it's a nice companion palette to other palettes I have, and the shimmers in this one are like, they are fantastic. I know you can't get this anymore, but like, I do really recommend Tarte's shimmer shades, and I will definitely keep this in my collection. And then the 3rd palette is so sad. We had a death in the family like this past weeks, but I was in France, and I brought this palette with me. Oh, you can see it. I brought this palette with me, and we were sort of doing our makeup in the villa where I was staying, and then I sort of had a stairs down to the room we were in, or we slept in, where I had my things. And it was sort of outside, and then you took like a door into our room, and unfortunately I dropped this. So I was like running down the stairs with my makeup bag and this fell out and like flew down the stairs, and unfortunately 3 of the eyeshadows fell out. So here was like a grey and here was a sort of green, pukish colored green. And then here was like a dark purple. And before those fell out and I started using it again, I was sort of sure that I would sit in front of you here today and say that I did not like this palette and that I would probably be getting rid of it, because I didn't like how the eyeshadows blend, like how they, because I feel like everyone says that Viseart shadows are so good and like they blend so easily, and I just did not agree, because I was always using like this purple and sometimes I was using this grey and like this green. But then when they disappeared, like when I couldn't use them, then I started using like this orange, and this is like, this blends really really nicely and I really like the shade. Same with this one, I really like that one as well. I haven't used this brown smash at all because, as you all know, I'm not really a brown like person. But I don't know, now I actually really like it now that I'm not using the shades that fell out, because it really was like the duds that fell out. It was like the worst shades in this palette in my opinion. So yeah, of course I cannot like get rid of it in the state it is now, but I'm just going to keep using it, and maybe I will even like it more now. I don't know, I'm sort of trying to look at it from a positive side. So the only thing is, you can also see from the swatches, is that this shade here is like a blue, but it looks way darker in the pan than it actually looks like on like swatches or on my eyes. So you can see from the swatches. And yeah, I think that was the only negative thing I wanted to say about this today. And for this palette I made a look that is very similar to the one I am wearing today, except for I didn't use like the blue. And yeah, it's basically very similar to what I'm wearing today on my upper eyelid. And like, I don't particularly like to use only matte shades, so this is definitely a companion palette for me. But like, I knew that when I bought it, so like, that's fine. So yeah, and the looks that I did with all 3 palettes, let's start with the one I'm wearing today. As I said, I am wearing this palette on my upper eyelid, so I'm wearing this orange in my crease, and then I also have a bit of this in the crease and all over my lid, and then I have a bit of this on my outer corner. And then from the other palettes I used, from the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself, I used this sort of teal turquoise shade. I used that sort of like on my inner lower lash line, and I also used the highlighting shade on my inner corner. And then from the Sleek palette I used this sort of like purplish blue on the lower lash line on the outer corner. And then the other look, or the look I did the other day, I also started with the orange in my crease, I think. Can't really remember. I think I started with this in my crease and also this in my crease. And then I took the purple from this palette and put that on my outer corner. And then I took... sorry. Hopping in between palettes. But then I took the... this shade, the sort of copper shade from the Tarte Make Believe in Your palettes, and put that on the center of my lid. And then I took the gold from this palette and put that on like the inner half of my eyelid. So I'm very happy with how that look came out, and I feel like I did something to my lower lash line as well. Yeah, I used the purple on my lower lash line, like all along my lower lash line, and then I had sort of like a mint or like a very light purple in my inner ring. So yeah, those were all of the looks that I have done with these palettes and sort of my quick thoughts on them. And yeah, I know I said in my intro that I would be doing sort of live looks of the look that I would be doing with the 3 palettes in this video. But yeah, I just did not feel like that today, so maybe in the future, but today we are going to keep it like this. So now I am going to pick 3 new palettes. Okay, so I have my 3 palettes here. So the first one is Colourpop Dream St. And then we also have the Natasha Denona purple/blue palette. And the Sleek Ultra Matte version 1. So I'm going to go get those and then I'm going to show you. Okay, so I have my 3 palettes in front of me, and the first one is the Colourpop Dream St palette. And here is what this one looks like on the inside. This was a collaboration with Kathleen Lights, and as you can see I already have pan on Shooting Star. But yeah, I'm going to enjoy using this a bit more. I have used this quite a bit in the past because this has been in my getting use out of my collection, where I pick a palette and then I use every single shade in that palette at least 3 times. But I have put like a hold on that project when I'm doing this one, so we'll see if I start that up again. But yeah, I'm going to use this one for the first week, and then for the second week I got the Natasha Denona, like the blue purple palette, and I have sort of rearranged all of the shades in here. So this is not how you get it if you purchase it, but yeah, I like to have like the blues here and then the purples, and then I have like more neutrals right here. So yeah, I'm very excited to be using this. The only like downside with this palette for me is that this is the only like neutral matte in this palette, so you only have one pretty dark brown that is sort of like a satin matte finish. But you don't have any like transition shades that are not like green or blue or like purple, so that's the only thing with this palette, which is why I think I don't use it that much, because you feel like it will be like you would only use this palette when you use this palette because there are so many colors in here. But unfortunately there is no like transition shade that is matte. That is neutral. So yeah, I'm going to be using this for the second week, and then for the third week I got the Sleek Ultra Matte version 1. So we are really like super high-end, super like drugstore low-end. But yeah, this is the Sleek Ultra Matte version 1, and as you can see, this one I feel like I get one which I have not used that much, and then I have 2 palettes with pan in them, and I don't have that many palettes with pan in them, so that is pretty exciting. But I have pan in the green, and then in the orange, and in the yellow shade, and I think I'm close on the pink right here, and then on the blue as well. Yeah, I was sort of debating on doing or making this my pan palette for 2018. Let me know in the comments if you think that I should pan this palette next year. But yeah, I'm going to be using this for the third week, and then for the fourth week, as I said, I'm going to be using all 3. So yeah, that was everything for this video. Give this a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to go and check out Jessica and Amanda who started this, and also all the other ladies that are doing this project. I know that Kana has put together a playlist of every single video that is sort of in this project, so I will be sure to link that playlist in my description box as well. So yeah, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!